Hi everyone, welcome to Becky's Crafts and Goodies. Today we're going to upcycle this unit. Now I've started to take the drawers out and give it a good clean. As you can see, it is quite disgusting in there and it looks quite old and worn out. So the drawers I've got here, I'm just started to clean some of them, but can you see there's makeup and all sorts of dirt and grime in them as well. But what you have to do is to look beyond that. I'm going to take these knobs off. These have been put on by someone else. They weren't the original knobs, so I'm going to take those off, give it a thorough clean, and once it's all clean we can start and do the upcycling. Just want to show you this while I am cleaning. So these are not the original knobs, because if you can see there's two holes there and they don't really fit correctly anyway. This has fallen from the back, so they have these panels that fit in, but that can be fitted in easily, but I might take them out and paint them anyway. But yeah, they do look a bit disgusting, but I'm just going to carry on cleaning, but I just wanted to show you that bit first. Right, if you're going to do a project like this, you've got to be prepared to get dirty. This is probably the 10th bucket or bowl that I've filled and washed down, and it is absolutely filthy. I've also been using some of this wire wool because somebody's used makeup with this, and I've had to literally really scrub the bits off. It's as good as I'm going to get it now. And if you can see in here, we've got this like backing kind of plate, and it's really quite hard to get into all the little nooks and crannies, but I think it should be fine. This one's actually fell off, but we can put that on. So it's looking loads better. I mean, I still wouldn't put it in my house looking like that, don't get me wrong, but once it's been painted, it's going to look so much nicer and completely different. So I'm going to let this dry now. Once it's dried, we'll start and use the Fair Chic paint. Right, so it's the next day now, and it's all dried. I'm just going to start and paint the piece itself. So I'm going to take the old handles off, and the handles that I'm going to replace them with are some wooden ones. I'm just going to show those to you now. Right, so I'm going to put some of these wooden handles on, and I ordered these quite some time ago. They're just the perfect size. You get the screw in each packet. I got 10 when I ordered them, but I only need 8 of them. And what I've started to do is I've started to paint them in a gold colour. Now I'm using this metallic paint. It's going to go perfectly with the colour that I'm going to use. So this is just one coat on this top part. So then I'm going to do a coat on the bottom part, and I'm just going to give them a few coats to give them a real nice rich gold colour. And in the meantime, in between doing that, I'm going to use this Fair Chic paint, and I think it's absolutely beautiful, hence matching my nails. That's why I painted it. Right, so I just want to show you how far I've come. I've started to do the side, and this is just one coat, and it is going on really, really well, really smooth. I just gave the pot a little stir because obviously it's been in transit, and I'll just show you the top. I haven't got my tripod set up, but I've got the Fair Chic brush here, and I'm kind of painting whilst looking through this camera. So, but as you can see, it is going on lovely. So I'm just going to finish painting this side, but so far I am really happy, and I'm really happy with the colour too. Right, so we're just going to give you a bit of an update. I have painted the first layer on the outside of the piece, and I've also done one drawer. I've got a bit of an idea as well what I'm going to do with the lattice design. So I've just ordered a roll of wallpaper for that. I've got a stack of drawers there that are waiting to be painted. The knobs here are doing quite nicely, so they're just dried now, just waiting there for their little place in the queue. But what we're going to sort out now is little parts of this piece have got little bits of grease marks coming through. Now this is quite a common problem, especially if you're upcycling old furniture. And what you can do to hide those is to use a sealer. Now I've been to B&Q this morning and also went into Screwfix to see if I could find something to use. And the shellac formula, I do believe, is quite good. So I'm going to use this as a spray. And I'm going to put this over the top of this coat, because obviously I can see where the marks are. So I'm going to spray it over, and that should then seal, and it should seal in any marks. So when we go over it again with the next layer of paint, it should cover and it shouldn't bleed through. I've also got a mark here where there's it's like a chip in the wood. Somebody had filled it before, but when I cleaned it, I kind of knocked a little bit out. So I've just got some wood filler. and I picked this up from B&Q. I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll try it together and we'll know by the end of the project if they both work. So these are quite accessible. You can get these sorts of things. So what I'm going to do now is to cover this little hole and spray some of the primer and the sealer on. Okay, so that's had the last coat of paint there. It does dry quite quickly, so you don't have much sort of drying time. You have to kind of get it on quite quick. I've done some of the drawers. These are the 2 drawers that I've still got to do. I've just taken the inside of the drawer out. Let me show you. This panel was stuck to the back of the drawer there, so I've just got my screwdriver and got those out. One of them was a bit damaged, but I've just managed to sort of like patch that up. That's drying over there. So I'm just going to paint the front. Let me show you on one that I've already done, which is over here. These are drying now. So that's the effect that I'm going for. So that's why I had to take the back panel out. So I'm just going to paint. It's very fiddly. Just going to paint the 2 drawers now. But it will be worth it because I think the effect is going to be worth all the work. Well, I hope it is anyway. So I'm just going to set 2 now and paint the fronts of the other 2 drawers. Now everything's painted, I'm just going to go over the piece and wet distress. And all this is getting a baby wipe or a damp cloth, lint-free cloth, and just rubbing it until you kind of bring out the underneath, and that will kind of just distress it and kind of give it that little shabby chic age look. And you just go over the piece in odd sections and just take some of the paint off the top. So I'm going to do that to the outside. I'm going to do it to the drawers. Then after that, I'll be back with you. Also, if some areas have got some little raised bits of paint, you can just go over with some sandpaper, and that will get rid of the lumps of paint and also give you the same distressed look. Right, okay, so now over the bits that I've distressed, I'm going to use some of this Fair Chic gold. And what you actually do is you just rub it on to the surface and onto the corners, and it brings out like it gives it like a little goldy finish, and this is what it looks like. And all you do, as I say, is just get it with your finger and just sort of rub it on like that. So just over the piece now, I'm just going to do that in certain areas. Right, so I've started to wax it, and I've waxed the top, and it does make it a little bit darker when you wax it, so just bear that in mind. But I'm absolutely loving the gold effect. I could just go mad with it. It's such good fun. So this is the wax. This is the Fair Chic wax, and I've just got a brush, and I'm just putting my brush into the wax like that, and all we're doing is just putting the wax on using the brush. So obviously it makes it darker, but it will dry a little bit lighter than this. And I'm just going to go over the whole of the unit here with the wax, and then this will act as a protective seal because it's water based. It will actually the paint will come off if you don't seal it with something. So there's various different things that you can seal them with. So all I'm going to do now is go over it all, and then we'll let this dry, and then we'll do the next step. Right, so with this wax, what you can do is you can leave it, or you can actually just sort of, after a while, you can rub it, and that gives it a more of a shiny kind of finish. But if you want more of a matte finish, then don't bother running it over with a cloth. So I'm just going to go over the piece with a cloth. Make sure it's a lint-free cloth so you don't get bits and pieces come off onto the unit. So I'm just going to go over it all now just to give it like a bit of a shine, and then we're going to put the knobs on. Now I did have to go out and buy some more screws because the screws that came with these were super long. So I've bought some smaller ones, and we're going to fasten the knobs on the front, and then we're going to decorate that part so we've got like a pattern coming through the lattice. So I'm just going to carry on doing this now, and then we'll pop the knobs on as well. I've actually really enjoyed doing this. It's been quite a lot of work, if I'm honest, but I have enjoyed it. I'm quite pleased with the outcome as well. So we'll just screw these on, and I think they look really nice. I love how it picks out the gold in the sort of the trim as well. I'll fasten those and tighten those up, but I'll just pop them on to start with. I'm just putting a washer on the back. Carl's got a little pot of little washers, so I'm just going to put one of those on as well. There's actually 2 holes that have been drilled in this. They've had like they had some original knobs on, and then they put some different ones on. So I've just put it on the one that I think it kind of looks the best on. The other one comes up a little bit maybe too high, so I'm hoping that they look sort of okay when they're all done. They seem to be okay. Now we're going to line the drawers. Now I found this wallpaper. I wanted some ideally with a smaller pattern than this, but it was really quite hard to find it online because sometimes you have to see it in the flesh, but I couldn't find any in any shops. So I'm going to put this in the bottom of the drawer, and I'm also going to try if it'll work and put some on the backing board so you can see it through like the lattice design as well. So all I'm going to do is open up the wallpaper. It is quite thick though, so I'm hoping it works. I mean, I'm still learning, guys. We're kind of learning together a little bit, really. I've never done this before, so we'll give it a go. So my plan is to get some and to cut it so you can see it through. Do you see what I mean? So I've got I've got these boards that came out the back. So I'm going to cover those with the wallpaper. So put those on like that, and then fasten the backing board back on there, and also get this, put it to size for the middle, and put it so it's actually in the drawers as well, so the drawers are lined as well. To do the other 2 now, and incidentally I'm sticking the paper onto this bit. I've tried to get this glue off, but it's quite hard to get off, and do you know what, I don't even think it's going to matter that much, so I'm not going to worry about picking it off too much. I'll just draw around this one and then do the same, let them set. Once they've dried, hopefully, fingers crossed, it should hold, and then we can put them into place. I've just done exactly the same thing with the lining of the drawer. So measured it out, cut it to size, and I've just stuck that down as well. So these need to dry a little bit. I've got the other 2 drawers to line. I think, to be honest, they look nice just as they are, don't they, with just the lining in. But I'm going to stick with the original plan and line the other drawers. We're getting there, nearly done, nearly done. It's took a while, but nearly there. Right, so I've lined all the drawers, so they're all lined here. Now what we've got to do is just put this front panel in. Now I've left this one out just to show you. We're just going to tack it in, but I think it looks really nice with them out anyway, so you wouldn't have to necessarily have a panel in. But we're just about to fix these in now, and that's what they look like with the panels in. So we're just going to put this last one in now. Right, so I just want to go through and explain how I got this board to stick on. At the back there was nothing to really fasten it to, so what I decided to use was this Gorilla Glue. Now this is a 2-part glue. You have to actually put it in contact with water, so one part has to have the glue. That's not sticky on its own. You have to put water to it, you know, in contact with it as well. So I put some glue on obviously the other side to this, some of the Gorilla Glue, and then I put some water over it and then stuck this backing part to it. Now I just had to tack the corner inside here just to hold it in. I put some cans of paint on, but it has fastened it to it. Now with the Gorilla Glue it does actually expand, so you have to be really careful as to the amount that you put on. But even though I was careful, I still got some like bits that sort of splodged out. So all I'm doing is I've just got this kind of like knife here, and I'm just going to cut. I'm not going to do it because I'm doing it with my left hand. I'm just going to cut it down and kind of like really carefully get those bits out. But I don't have very many of those, so it was definitely worth doing. So we're almost done. This is the last drawer that I've got to do. And I think it's looking absolutely fabulous. I've really enjoyed doing it. So I'm just going to scalp all those bits out now and put it all together and show you the finished article, finally. And finally we have finished. Now I started cleaning it last Saturday and it's now Friday morning, so it has taken quite some time. I've obviously not been doing it all day every day. I've been doing bits and pieces sort of as and when I can, but I'm really, really pleased with how it looks. I'm going to go a little bit closer so you can see. It was fun working with the Fair Chic paint. So there's some nice different colours. My favourite product I think has to be this gold kind of like rub that you can put on like a wax. I absolutely loved that, and I just wanted to go a little bit mad with it. I wanted to like wax everything, but it is really, really good. I'm really pleased with how it's come out. And it just goes to show that you can pick something that was going to be just literally thrown out and no good, and you can really make it into something really funky, really fashionable. And yeah, I really, really love it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all okay. And if you are interested in the Fair Chic products, I'm going to leave a link in the description down below. And Paula also has some clubs as well, which are £5 and £10 a month that you can join and subscribe to, and it gives you loads of like other tips, extra tips other than her YouTube channel, and like lots of business. So if you're serious about sort of upcycling and the whole kind of business of that, then that's definitely well worth subscribing to her clubs that she's got. Other than that, you can just pop on and have a look at her YouTube channel, because that's completely free. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed this. I certainly have, but you know, I'm glad it's over. And on to the next project. We'll see you all again soon. Take care. Bye for now.